Did you know that Albrecht Dürer was one of the first artists to start signing his art? Hi, my name is Carrie, and today on Artist Strong, we're going to answer the question, should you sign your art? During the Renaissance, most artists actually did not sign their artwork. Part of that was because they were hired by patrons to create art for their homes, and their name was known well enough within an art community or by the people hiring them that they didn't feel like they needed to put their name down on anything. There is one story about Michelangelo, however. When he created his masterpiece, the sculpture that's called La Pieta, which is now in the Vatican, he had overheard people admiring it and actually giving credit to another artist for that sculpture. And that made him kind of cranky. So he went back in and carved across Mary's chest his name, Michelangelo, to make sure that everyone knew that it was his work. So that's one of our first stories of people signing their art. Another Renaissance artist, a Dutch master, Jan van Eyck, he actually was also one of the first people to start signing his art. And one reason this happened, especially in the Northern Renaissance, is you had people all of a sudden in the middle class who were now starting to collect and buy artwork. It wasn't just the super wealthy like the church or other people in high places of power who wanted art for their homes, and people were making art that was a little more small and portable. So what a better way to make sure that people knew that you were the artist who made that than to put your name to that artwork. So Van Eyck started doing it so that when people saw his work, they knew it was his. In a lot of ways, that's a branding decision being made. I've seen a lot of articles out there that give you rules about whether or not you should sign your art. And one of the major arguments that I always see is that art historians say it's going to help provenance, right? It's going to help us prove the history that this is your work and a progression of your work over time. If we always have your signature, we'll know it's yours even after you're dead. Well, some people are annoyed by this, or some people feel a lot of pressure that every work they create then has to be perfect because they're putting their name to it because it might be in the history books. Well, if this is pressuring you so that you don't make art, stop signing your art. I mean it. I think that that's an absurd or silly reason for us to not be making. And I know I felt that pressure myself. Sometimes we do have this kind of elevated pressure to always make sure every mark we make is perfect, because what if art historians are looking at it? Well, if we're gone, it doesn't really matter now, does it? I want you to be making. That's the most important thing to me. So don't follow arbitrary rules that people are giving you online. Don't even follow my rules. Find something that speaks to your heart, and if it feels good to sign your work, then go for it. I would recommend that if you are branding or trying to promote and sell your art, that you have a consistent signature of some kind. I can't say that I do yet, and I need to be better at it and take my own advice. But if you really want people to recognize your work, it's not just the style of your art that helps do that, right? It's your signature can act as a kind of logo for your work and help people who don't know you learn about you. And if someone sees your artwork in a friend's home and they're like, oh, who's Carrie, for example, it might start a dialogue that gets you a new collector. However, that being said, as I said earlier, I want you to break those rules if they don't fit for you. Do what feels right for you. There is no right or wrong way to do it. You don't always have to put it in the bottom left corner. I've seen lots of artists agonize over this and lose time on their actual art making because they're worried about how they sign their work. So this might have not been the answer you expected today, but that's my answer to your question, how should you sign your art? I'd like you to be creatively courageous today and share in the comments below. Do you sign your art? And if you do you have a unique way that you do that? What's kind of your signature style of giving a signature to your art? Share it in the comments below. And if you don't sign your art, tell us about that too. Why doesn't it feel right to you? I'd love to hear more from you, and I look forward to talking to you in the comments below this video. Have a great day, guys, and please share this video if you feel someone else will benefit from it. Bye.